Hello, and welcome to episode number 501 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. We're here, the first show of the post-500 era, and, episode 500 is not out yet. It was actually rendering when, I was uploading this, then it crashed, so I've got to re-render it, and it's got to be up before this, which is annoying, because it's 5 hours long, but yes, anyway, tonight we're going to have ECW for week 4 of March 2024, and it's going to be the Fatal 4-Way, featuring singles competitors with the 4 tag teams in the ECW tag team title match. Minoru Suzuki, Cedric Alexander, Damon Kemp, and Braun Strowman, as well as Cora Jade taking on Lyra Valkyria in a no disqualification match. Without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. We kick things off with the 4-Way, because it feels like a hot way to start the show. In 14 minutes 12, it is Braun Strowman who picks up the win. He pins Damon Kemp with the power slam. And yeah, advantage, I guess, goes to Joman for this first match. But it will, obviously, next week we will get the other Fatal 4-Way, which is Mustafa Ali, Shinsuke Nakamura, Joe Hendry, and Ronnie Hughes. 84 for Cedric, 62 for Suzuki, 81 for Braun, 73 for Damon. And yeah, so that's one win for Joman, and they're on their way to WrestleMania. We then get a quick backstage. We see Mackenzie Mitchell goes, I'm actually waiting, back here for the arrival of my guest at this time, and, she appears to be running a little bit late. And then Liv Morgan stands and goes, I'm not running late, Mackenzie. How about until she gets here, you can talk to me? Okay. Because I spent the last few years of my life trying my best. I tried my best to be everything that everybody wanted me to be. I tried my best to be good little Liv. The Liv Morgan who everybody wanted to see. The Liv Morgan who everyone wanted to be friends with. Okay, the Liv Morgan who wouldn't step a toe out of line. And apparently, that wasn't good enough for me because I was toying around with a friend who I thought was a friend. But turned out she actually had her own interest at heart and she was trying to handicap my career for the sake of advancing hers. What you really call that friendship, Mackenzie? I don't. And now she's walking around here with a kendo stick thinking she's tough shit. But actually, she's a coward and she couldn't face me man to man, woman to woman, because she knows that I'm better than her. And at WrestleMania, I'm going to prove her wrong. Because I'm going to beat her and I'm going to prove that I am levels above her. Because who's she ever beaten, Mackenzie? Who's she ever beaten? Okay, yeah, she's been here WWE for 2 years now, never been women's champion. Only won a tag team championship when I was around. I'm a former Raw Women's Champion. I'm here. I got to the finals of the ECW Championship Tournament. Okay, I should be standing here ECW Women's Champion right now, but I didn't. I came up short of that night at SummerSlam. But trust me, if me and Julie were married again, different would be outcome. The outcome will be different this time. That's when Julia does walk in. She goes, oh, do you think so, huh? She goes, think so, I know so. She goes, great. Why don't we put that to the test tonight? Me and you, one-on-one. Liv goes, I thought you'd never ask. I'll see you out there, champ. So yeah, there's our main event. Liv Morgan taking on Julia in singles action. Non-title, of course, because, we're not throwing WrestleMania plans into disarray like 10 days before the show. 78. That's pretty good. Dolph Ziggler defeats the Paragon's Kevin Fritz in 12 minutes and 1 second of super kick. 81 for Dolph Ziggler, 72 for Kevin Fritz. And yeah, big win for Dolph here tonight against another member of the Paragon. After the match, out comes JC Jane. And JC sort of gets into the ring. And he sort of claps Dolph Ziggler and celebrates his win. And he looks confused, what the hell? And JC sort of walks up to him and she starts flirting with him. And Dolph's distracted. He's like, what the hell? I guess, DZ never lost it, The chicks dig DZ, they always will. He turns around, Adam Cole super kicks him. And he goes, oh, Dolph, you're so predictable, Ziggler. Look, I know that you fancy yourself, something of a major star here. You fancy yourself something of a champion, something of an Adonis, you could say. But there's one thing that you are, Dolph, and that's weak. That's vulnerable, and I've just exposed in front of the world now that you are weak and pathetic, Ziggler. The fact that you were the first ECW champion of this lineage speaks a lot. It speaks a lot for the caliber of talent that was in that tournament, and it speaks a lot for the fact that the Paragon were not yet running ECW, but that changes after WrestleMania, Dolph, because you don't have to be this way. You don't have to be weak and pathetic and easily exploitable like you are. You could be strong like us. And at WrestleMania, it's going to be for your own good. When Adam Cole, baby, puts you down and forces you to pledge allegiance to this story. Adam Cole, baby's story. You called yourself a wanted man last week, Dolph. I think that's kind of half right. You're not really a wanted man. But you are wanted. You're wanted to be accepted by all these people, and even though you came out on top, you beat Roman Reigns and you kept a hold of that championship, you still don't feel accepted. It's time to stop caring, Dolph. You're never going to be accepted. You're never going to be that guy around here. Maybe it's time to move on, and instead of trying to fight it, screw the system. Screw those who made it so. And be a part of the next chapter of the greatest story here in WWE. Be a part of my Paragon. Then get a quick sit down with Kyle O'Reilly. He goes, I know WrestleMania is coming up fast, and the God himself, Kyle O'Reilly, has a chance to become ECW television champion. That'll be my first piece of singles championship gold in WWE. And now I know there's a lot of pressure on me, but I've been fighting this pressure for years. Okay, I came into NXT 7 years ago. I was a tag team guy. Me and Bobby, we came in as to flank Adam Cole. Nothing was ever supposed to be coming of Kyle O'Reilly. He was supposed to be the guy, the funny guy who went out there and strummed air guitar on the championship and stood behind Adam Cole and made those silly faces. But I've become my own man. Adam Cole kicked me out of the Undisputed Era that fueled me, and I'm sure my career's been toiling down for the last few years. But I know who I am at heart. I am the best damn wrestler in this company. The middle W in WWE stands for wrestling, and I am that wrestler. Because when you get in that ring, nobody does what I do better. Not ZSJ, not anybody. And at WrestleMania, the God is going to descend from the heavens in Philadelphia. He's going to walk his way down to that ring. He's going to stare down ZSJ. And he's going to tell him, Zach, your arms, to quote a fellow best in the world, are too short to box with God. But my arms, do you know what they can do? They can twist and bend and break any limb you put in front of me. And sure, Zach, I know most of yours can too, because you're very good in your own right. But you ain't a god. And at WrestleMania, there's another thing that you won't be. Television champion. 75. That's pretty good, actually. It says there's a lack of psychology, but, with those ratings and overall getting a 75, that's pretty good, yeah. It's no DQ because the last time Lyra and Cora faced off, Lyra got disqualified because Cora was shit-talking her losing at the Chamber. And yeah. In a low DQ situation, Lyra Valkyria channels her, inner bad side. And actually does manage to defeat Cora Jade in 12:34. 68 for Lyra, 75 for Cora. And that's an impressive win. Cora Jade, former Liberty champion. And yeah, both these women are in the WrestleMania Battle Royal. And they could be two of the favourites to win. Then after the match, Kelly's up. She's celebrating with Lyra. And Cora's just sort of sat in the corner, smiling and laughing. Going, ha, good one. Good one, bird girl. You brought it tonight. And Lyra's there. She looks like she's ready to continue the fight. But Killer Kelly goes, okay, no, it's fine. We've done all the damage we need to do. And Cora does get to her feet. And she goes, come on. Bring it on. Bring more on. I'm not finished yet. But no, Killer Kelly and Lyra do leave. Because they are, while aggressive, also smart. And there's no need to continue to put the pressure on. They've already won. So. We then cut to the women's locker room. Ruby Riott is there. She walks up to Scarlett and Shotzi. She's like, "Oh my God, guys, did you hear? The WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal once again taking place at WrestleMania. And I hear we're all going to be in it. Isn't that exciting?" Shotzi goes, "Yeah, I mean, it's always exciting to get out there on the WrestleMania stage, but what? But what, Shotzi? What's the matter? Are you not excited about sharing the spotlight with me?" She goes, "No, it's about, you being in the match and how, I hate to break your heart and break your WrestleMania dreams by winning that Battle Royal." And of course, Ruby sort of like turns more sinister. She goes, "Break my heart. Break my dream. Shotzi, you don't get it. I'm winning this Battle Royal. I don't care who gets in my way. I'll break your face. I'll break her pretty little face. I don't care who it is. And if you really want to put this to the test, you really want to test me just days away from WrestleMania, then next week, see me in that ring and we'll see who's going to be the one winning that Battle Royal." And Shotzi goes, "Fine, we will." Yeah, Ruby Riott, Shotzi Blackheart next week. On the go-home show of WrestleMania. Oh my God, 90. Okay. A random match I just made because I knew it would be good. And it was. Damian Priest and Cesaro have a random-ass banger in the middle of ECW. Goes 12-22, Priest wins with the South of Heaven. 85 for Priest, 87 for Cesaro. And then after the match, Priest is celebrating, he's celebrating a big win. He turns around, Lashley spears the fuck out of him. Lashley continues to rain punches down on Priest. The referees and security run out to pull him apart. And Priest's getting angry at Lashley. One's in one corner, one's in the other corner. Lashley breaks away, he jumps on Priest, continues the fight. The security then does pull him away and they take them both to the back. But yeah, big intense fight between these two big guys here tonight. But then get this, it's just a Paul Heyman video package, he's narrating over, the history of the bloodline. We get one of these every time Roman defends the belt. But this time it's different, because this time we've got to talk about the tragedy that was the betrayal of the Usos. The Usos betraying their tribal chief, and then the Usos betraying each other. Because you see, just 1 month not being shadowing the tribal chief, these Usos, they didn't know what to do. They couldn't spend a month outside of the bloodline walls before they ended up turning on each other out of fear of betrayal. And now, we appear to have hit a bit of a wall, where at WrestleMania, Eva Uso, those tag team twins who've been tag team guys, and make no mistake about it, one of the greatest tag teams in WWE history, want to step out of that tag team shadow. One of them wants to become ECW champion and the provider of the family and the head of the table and the tribal chief and everything that comes with it. But at WrestleMania, Roman's gonna smash Jay. He's gonna smash Jimmy. And he's gonna walk out still ECW champion. And that's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. And then, it's announced next week, all 3 members of the Bloodline will be here on the go-home show for a face-to-face ahead of their ECW championship match at WrestleMania. We then cut backstage. Lashley's there. He's getting calmed down by MVP. He goes, "Bobby, I get it. You want to rip that guy's head off. I get it. I understand. But almighty Bobby Lashley, let me tell you something. You have to wait till WrestleMania. Okay, we can't have you run around here doing these sort of attacks on Priest unprovoked. Okay, because what if you get hurt? What if you end up missing WrestleMania, Bobby? That's not very Hurt business. Because the Hurt business, you get that WrestleMania exposure. Okay, Ronnie and Damon, they're already on the show. You need to be careful. And if you see Damian Priest, don't rise to him." And then we hear Priest shout, "Oi, Lashley." And then Lashley turns around, he sees Priest, and they just continue the brawl in the middle of the hallway. And security and shit has to try and calm him down again. MVP's there going, "Oh my God, almighty Bobby Lashley, please, just... he ain't worth it, Bobby. He ain't worth it. He ain't worth it." Next week is the episode of ECW before WrestleMania. and we've got a couple of matches announced. The first being, as we saw earlier on tonight, Ruby Riott taking on Shotzi Blackheart. They had a bit of an argument about the Battle Royal. That's going to be a Battle Royal promotional match, I guess. And yeah, that's next week. Also next week is the other Fatal 4-Way, featuring the 4 tag teams in the Fatal 4-Way tag team match at WrestleMania. It'll be Mustafa Ali against Joe Hendry, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Ronnie Hughes in 4-way action, plus Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso all in the building, all face to face, ahead of the Bloodline Triple Threat implosion at WrestleMania. 79 rated main event, that's sort of mid, but I guess I had too much confidence in Julia's psychology. Julia does beat Liv Morgan 14-34 because Hikaru Shida comes out, clocks her on the back with the kendo stick, and then Julia pins her with the Glorious Driver. 90 for Julia, 75 for Liv. So yeah, 79 is fine, I guess, but for an ECW main event it could be a little bit better. But then after the match, Shida gets into the ring. She continues to start wailing on Liv Morgan with the kendo stick. Julia's there to sort of standing by watching. She's not really got any say in this because she doesn't really care. She doesn't hate Liv that Shida's rivalry. She's not going to help Shida because she doesn't really like her either. But, she just sort of stands there and just watches, fascinated by the attack. When Florence does run out, she takes the fight and she brawls with Julia around ringside. And Shida then goes to attack Liv. Liv ends up rolling out of the way of one. And then she gets to her feet. And then they brawl in the ring. Shida and Florence brawl outside the ring. And then, it's announced tag team match next week on the Go Home show. Julia will team with Hikaru Shida to face Liv Morgan and Florence. That's a very quick episode of ECW, again, just like Raw. This is sort of like the down week, like week 3 and week 1 of April will be like the hype weeks. Week 4 sort of like the in-between week where it's not quite the Go Home show, but there's still only really one extra thing I want to add to most of the stories, which is going to happen on the Go Home shows, so it's sort of just a down week for TV in general, I guess. But what matters more is what you thought of the show, so don't leave in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for SmackDown. See you then.